Just double check that we're live, and we are. Okay, hello and welcome to tonight's session of the Sunless Citadel. This is session number 2, or episode number 2, as we say in England. I'll do you a quick recap on session 1, introduce the players, and we'll crack on. So in the previous session, the 3 adventurers, Colin, Barynor and Durzo, all met Durnan. Durnan is the legendary adventurer, owner and landlord of the Yawning Portal, the world famous boozer in Waterdeep on the Sword Coast of the Forgotten Realms. Basically he's retired from adventuring, but he's still collecting artefacts to adorn the walls of the Yawning Portal, much like the Planet Rock Cafe has memorabilia in there. Durnan is collecting memorabilia for the Yawning Portal. So he put an advert out for some adventurers to go and collect an artefact, a magical apple that he's heard tale of. He made a portal in the well in the middle of the Yawning Portal, and our adventurers set off down the well to the Sunless Citadel to try and obtain one of these magical apples. We've got 3 adventurers on this campaign tonight. There's Mike, who's playing Colin, the human pirate cleric. We've got Lee, who's playing Barynor the half. We've got Lee, who's playing Barynor the half-elf bard, and Steve, who's playing Durzo the kobold rogue. So apologise for any language. We're all grown-ups, so if you're easily offended, probably go and watch something else. Rules wise, we're pretty loose with it. We're more about role playing. We're sticking to 5e as best as we can remember it, but don't get your knickers in a twist if we get something wrong. So far the characters have gotten down. They're in the Sunless Citadel. They've had their asses kicked a little bit trying to make their way through the first few corridors and rooms. They've found some skeletons and some other bits and pieces, had a few battles. They've bumped into, what's his name? Oh, Meppo. This is this little kobold. He's a keeper of dragons. He's lost his pet called Clyrax or Syrax or something. Where is his name? I've written it down somewhere. I've written too much down. Look at all that. Unbelievable. Clyrax he's called. It's a white dragon wormling. Anyway, Meppo's had this white dragon wormling stolen from him by the goblins that inhabit deeper into the Sunless Citadel. Our players bumped into Meppo when they were on their last legs, but they've managed to talk him into helping them out. Meppo took them to see the chief, or the queen of the kobolds living in the Citadel. Her name is Yuzdrael. She's agreed to give them some healing and some rest while she consulted took counsel on how she should deal with them. So they've been resting up in one of the kobold rooms. They're back to full health. They've leveled up to level 2. They've done all their character sheets ready to rock and roll, and they're going to go and have a chat with Yuzdrael and see how the land lies. So that was session 1, and here is session 2. Okay, guys, over to you.
Right, so we'll pick up.
So yeah, you're all in this centre room there. You've all rested up. You're all back on level 2. One of the guards comes along, pokes his head round the door, and says to you, Queen Yuzdrael will see you now.
I'm sitting there playing the tune from Deliverance. Ding, 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 ding.
Your queen there. Who's that?
So the queen is round here, and she's awaiting your presence. She's requested an audience.
I would.
Guys,
Huh?
guys, listen. I was sorry for the little episode with the thunder wave and
Oh yes.
After the ice things that we nearly got killed by, I seeked aid from the leader of the kobolds. I paid them 2 of the sapphires that we found. You should all have 1 sapphire in your pocket. It's where I left it. But I paid 2 sapphires for our well-being, and they were taking counsel, and I believe they wish for us to join them.
I remember being knocked out during said fight.
Thunderwave. Sounds a lot to me like something I encountered once with a yellow mouse.
I'd turn to this kobold and say to him, "Go on, lead the way."
Okay. So the kobold wanders out of the room that you're in. The door was never locked. You were guests, and he wanders round to this point where you'll find Queen Yzdril awaiting.
Now check Ollie's skills on moving the lighting door out of the way.
Oh yes. Ha! See, we're using Roll20, and cunningly we've put all this dynamic lighting on, so you guys at home will be able to see.
Open accessory.
Yeah. Oh God, hold on a minute. Hold on. You have to zoom right in, otherwise you can't get hold of the bloody doors. Hold on. There we go. Stand by.
Oh, I seem to have a
Shit.
I just spawned myself out.
Look at that. There we go.
You
And
cheater. Just
if-
after he manages it as well.
As if by magic, the door opens. There we go. This is like a tutorial and a game all in one, isn't it? It's good. I'm going to I'll zoom in a little bit so that my friends around the world who are watching, all three of them, can see what we're doing. Here we go.
Just to make it more realistic, I'm going to drop a torch because I would probably be carrying one for some reason after waking up.
Yeah, we've had a bit of an issue with this dynamic lighting. Who can see what? So we've got a stash of torches that the characters can grab and use as they want.
You've accidentally dynamic lighting blocked this area off with the door behind.
What do you mean with the door behind it? Have you not been in there, have you?
That door there, we can't see. There's a box of dynamic lighting lines around it. It's just because I've dragged a torch in there.
Oh, I don't know why. I've clicked on the screen. You should be able to see in there. You've not been in there yet, anyway, have you?
Nah.
No.
I just wondered why there was part of the corridor missing, that's all.
No. Yeah, I don't know. You'll see when you look at the replay. I've got the dynamic screen switched on now, and when you look back at this tomorrow, if you're bored enough to want to watch it again, you'll be able to see that there's a big gap there where the door is, and there doesn't seem to be any logical explanation as to why you wouldn't be able to see in there. So
dynamic light is special at times.
That's kind of curious. I'm going to put it down to wafty broadband.
Definitely on my end.
No. That's pretty good
stand
here.
before the Queen and give her a little bit of a sort of half bow.
Okay. I'm just, okay. You may stand. I see you have rested. How are you feeling now?
Much better, thank you. Listen, the two that I'm with, one is of your kind, and the other one is quite grumpy unless he has alcohol. So if you have alcohol, we could talk a bit simpler with him.
Ah, yes. I think anything that loosens lips would be a good idea. Try some of our dragon mead. And she clicks her fingers, and one of the little kobold commoners comes running over with a dragon skin flask full of their special brew. As
It's greatly received, but what do you call this? Ain't big enough.
As for your other friend, many of our young maiden kobolds have noticed him. Don't worry. He seems to be without any clutch mates.
I elbow Durzo awkwardly, and like, oi, oi.
He just sort of glares you down a bit and looks back at your Queen and goes, "You're most graceful."
If
I
this
didn't realise the wenches were interested in an old man like me.
if this all ends well, I'm sure there'd be a place here in our colony for such a brave adventurer.
And brave he is. He is the utmost brave.
And a couple of the females here and here because it's not widely known, but a lot of the Kobold warriors are actually female, especially in these times of diversity and equality. They all sort of giggle and sort of blush a little bit, and yes, they're looking.
Durzo turns over his shoulder and just like gives him a bit of a wink.
They're looking on very enthusiastically, shall we say?
Confused and thinking they're talking about him, Colin tips his bandana.
Okay. So, what brings you here?
Well,
After the treasure, of course.
Ah.
this is why I was going to do the talking. First, we came because we were tasked to find something for our employer, but we came across some doors that we had issues with, and this is really the only way. We ran into Meepo, and he told us about your issue with your sworn enemies, and possibly we could help with that.
Yes. Yes, I see you met Meepo. And he just sort of giggles and, oh, yeah, I brought him to you straight away, he sort of says. Okay, well, so how can we be of assistance to you?
Well, it's more that we can be an assistance to you. We heard that Meepo has been relieved of his pet.
This is correct.
We could possibly help him.
Meepo's employment will soon be coming to an end if he doesn't rectify the situation. This isn't the first time he's lost something, and we're becoming displeased with him. His father was a keeper of dragons, and his grandfather was a keeper of dragons. Meepo appears to not be able to keep dragons, shall we say.
With all due respect, Your Highness, you can't choose your parents. Nor should you have to follow in their footsteps.
This is true, I suppose. Nevertheless, there is a certain standard we require, and Meepo currently is fallen a little bit below it.
I say the lad needs to work the plank.
Is it not possible for him to perhaps take another line of work?
Well, what do you suggest?
I'm sure there's plenty that can be done around here. Everyone has a strength and a weakness.
We could teach him to possibly kill goblins if that's what you need him for.
Well, I see you catch on quickly, Master Elf. For it is you that I was looking at to try and guide young Meepo and try and help develop his skills. I will place Meepo in your service for now, but there are a few things that I would like in return.
I do no more favours, I can tell you that much. Especially not for tickly corn.
What do you wish of us?
Well, there's some information about this place that perhaps you are not quite aware of. You say that your sponsor, your employer, has sent you down here to find a magical item. What magical item in particular might that be?
I never mentioned the magical item. He asked us to get an item, of which we don't know the origin. We know of some of its information. It's an apple we are after.
Well, all items are magical one way or another, whether that's sentimental, emotional or physical magic, who knows, but figure of speech.
Agree, yes.
So you're after an apple, are you?
Yes.
I know a little of these apples myself. Yes, I know a little of these apples, but as I say, I'm happy to strike a deal with you guys. I have information that will help you gain your apple, and I'm sure in the process there are things that you could do for me.
What sort of things we talking about here, laddie?
Well, you've come this far through the Citadel, so it's unlikely to have escaped your notice. The corpses of 1 or 2 goblins.
We heard them being quite noisy in your cells. Well, I did. My companions here were kind of sleeping.
This is true. We do keep a number of their kin prisoners for information. It's how it works, you understand. The site that you are now standing on is the site of an ancient dragon, long now passed to another realm, by the name of Ashreldon.
We have come across it, yes.
Good. Then you will understand that this citadel is our rightful home, our rightful place to be, and the place that really ought to be centre of our clan. Wouldn't you say?
We all have our own birthrights.
Sorry, go on.
My apologies, Colin. Do carry on.
I was going to say, this information that you have, is it worth your life?
Worth my life? Oh, I think it's the kind of information that would...
I've got several heavy cannons, places that could really shake things up for you.
Well, I think it's the kind of information that may extend your life a little longer than it's currently looking like.
Colin, please don't threaten the people we are guests of.
I'm just a little bit impatient.
I understand, yes. But sometimes diplomacy is our way forward.
Well, I don't understand what that even means, sir.
Sometimes we need to use our words before we use our fists.
Durzo would sort of turn to the little kobold from before and ask him to hurriedly get Colin some more dragon meat.
And
I don't need more meat, but I'll take some anyway.
the little kobold servant does exactly that and hurries back.
What tasks do you require of us to complete in order for us to get this information?
Okay, well, I appreciate your companion's bluntness. It's a trait I actually quite admire, even though diplomacy is my default setting. So I'll get to the point. I would like you guys to rid this place of these goblins. This castle, by rights, is a kobold place, and if you would be willing to exterminate the pests, the goblins, get rid of the goblin threat within here, then I will extend certain benefits to your campaign.
May we ask of the benefits?
Well, obviously it would depend on your successful completion of the task, but as you may have noticed from some of the stuff here, there are certain valuables. First of all, we'll let you leave with one of the apples. Secondly, we'll pay you with some of the treasure that we've acquired over the years. Meppo, the kobold that you've already met, will accompany you and lend you what support he can. And I'll have a number of scrolls that I can give to you in the meantime to maybe help you in your way.
After supping quite heavily on this dragon mead, Colin, with mead dripping from his whiskers and his beard, he pulls it away from his face. Could you possibly tell us anything more about these so-called goblins? Is there a big bad goblin that we might need to be particularly worried about, do you know? Or is there anyone that they follow that we might need to be worried about?
No, there isn't a big bad goblin as such. There's 3 big bad goblins.
Could I possibly have counsel with these 3 individuals? You see, through my travels, I've learned to speak their despicable tongue. It has saved my life once or twice.
Unfortunately, diplomacy has deteriorated between the kobolds and the goblins. However, how you decide to approach the task is entirely up to you. There is a hobgoblin sergeant, and then there's Grell, who is the goblin chief, and Dern, the hobgoblin bodyguard. But they are of minor concern. Most of the goblins dwell on a level underneath where we currently are. They are controlled by Balek. Balek was an adventurer much like yourselves who passed through here 5 or 6 years ago with his pet giant frog. It is our belief that he is currently the chief of the goblins.
In that case, might I suggest strategy?
Well, I've got one further question. Do you have a length of pipe, something that can be used as a projectile, and something that can be used to ignite such a projectile in the air through the pipe? I'm willing to pay. I have lots of gold to pay you. I just want to get with these motherfuckers.
May I suggest a better strategy to outthink the goblins? They aren't exactly smart.
If all they know is war, and we need to kill them all, we need some method of dealing with the big baddies. Because if we can kill the big baddies,
This is
the others may run.
If you carried on with your mead, I would explain my plan. My plan my plan being, if we can call council to their leaders, we can then get all the people they respect in one place, and then kill them. It'll be like an ambush. I can speak to them in their native tongue to make them trust me, and then we can kill them all.
But how do you wish to kill multiples of them when there's only 3 of us?
I would ask the Queen over here to lend us some... Unfortunately, it's most likely to be cannon fodder, but...
I hope quite literally.
Well, I need to let you know you're not the first adventurers to come by this way. About a month ago, 4 adventurers just like yourselves, a fighter, a wizard, a paladin of Pelor and a ranger, all passed by this way, heading to the goblin den, none of which have returned so far.
Can I
If we were to venture to the Twilight Hall, I just wish that we could venture there with cannon fire.
We lost Mike. What was that? I didn't get that.
I said if we were to venture to the Twilight Halls, I just wish we could venture there with cannon fire.
I would ask if she knows anything of the dragon door we saw earlier.
I know of it. I know its location. It is a sacred place to kobolds. We have not ventured past that door. I have a key, and as I say, it's not somewhere we've passed. That door is sacred. What lays beyond it, I cannot say.
If I were to part some gold, you key.
I would give you the key, but I would ask you to be respectful for anything that you might find in there. And obviously,
we are planning to be the utmost respect.
Well, you must appreciate you are in our kingdom now, and
I would sort of reiterate that although I'm not from this kingdom, I understand the sort of heritage, and I'll keep them in check.
yes. Well,
Can I put my arms around the 2 and them in close and just say to them, what I would expect to be quiet, but probably isn't quiet. Shall we give her the gold and take the key?
It's not just the key we need. The lock on that door is slightly magical. So I fear there may be a password to it.
We can always readdress it later.
We've got gold to spend, and nowhere to spend it if we don't get out of here. So, if we can take the key and she's willing to go for gold,
I will give
why
you
not?
I will give you a key, and I'll give you a spell which I think will see you past the magic on that door. But heed my words when I say that is a sacred place. Sacred places were guarded, and the goblin threat that we now face lies in the opposite direction. What you choose to do.
I ain't too worried about your goblin problem. I'm here for an apple.
Durzo would just shake his head and then ask her which way the goblins are. So we'll readdress this door shortly.
The goblins lie to the west and to the north. I will give you 5 of my best warriors. They are all brave. They are fearless warrioresses, I should say, and they will fight with you until their last breath. I will also give you. I will give you a set of keys. One of which is the key to the door that you're talking about. And I will give you a feather token, which I'll let you see in a minute, and 3 spell scrolls. You may want to write this down or keep a note of it. The first scroll is mage armor even, spider climb, and knock. And a small flask that contains 3 doses of elixir of health, which is basically a health potion. So 3 lots of health potions, 2d4 plus 2.
Hang on, sorry, can you repeat that? Because I had to run off and get mine.
I'll write it in the chat. I'll write it in the chat. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to excuse my slow typing. I was born before computers.
How does spell scrolls work?
I've
Is that like a single use of the spell, or do you study it and learn the spell, or how does that work?
It's a single use spell. It has to be in your caster's ability list to use them, I believe.
So it's probably useful for me then, I imagine.
Yeah, you have to, as long as you're a spellcaster, you can cast it. If it's a spell that's higher than your level, there's some kind of disadvantage to casting it. But as long as you've got a level that can cast it, then go for it. And then once you've used it, the scroll disintegrates in lots of drama and theatrics, and that's it.
You know what the level of the spell is? Or?
I would ask her to make sure that the warriors are to follow our command and not act without our say-so.
Okay. So, young Durzo, I can see that you are a brave kobold and a strong kobold. I will make you an honorary commander for the rest of the time that you are in the Citadel. You have command over these 5, and the 5 come forward and bow in front of you.
Ooh, it's my admirers.
Yeah, and so I think the best way to do this, I'm going to make Meppo available in your journals, because what I don't want to do is make him a DM PC, because I don't personally subscribe to that way of doing it. And I'll add a kobold to your journals as well, and then if you want to use them, you can just drag them out and either decide mutually what you want them to do, or if you can't decide, whichever character is nearest to them gets to control them. I think that's probably the best way.
Yeah, that's alright.
Does that sound alright for you guys?
Colin. Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Colin is going to come up alongside this queen figure.
Yeah.
Don't approach the queen.
No, He's in a couple along, and he just wants to say one little thing. I appreciate you giving us the keys, but I am a man of my word. I would like to offer you 10 gold just to say thank you for giving us the key we spoke about earlier.
Okay. Well, she accepts the gold gratefully, and just at the corner of your eye, you notice she gives you a little wink, and you can't be sure. You can't be sure the meaning behind it, but a little bit of you suspects that she's got an affection for you, even though she hasn't said it.
Well, I am a rough scallion, I suppose.
Has anyone got any other obligations before we head off?
I suppose I could ask one last thing. Being a man of medicine, I used up a lot of my potions getting us this far. Have you got anything I could purchase to help us through the next section? I know you've obviously given us quite a bit, but could I purchase more potions of healing, perhaps?
Anything that you came to us with has been restored. Master Seaman, if you look in your satchel, I think you'll find your stocks are replenished, with my thanks.
He's not just the seaman, guys. He's the master seaman.
He is the Master Seaman.
I am the master of all seamen, I'll have you know.
Oh dear. It's began.
We've done all right. We've done at least half an hour. It's good.
I should have. In all seriousness, I should have 3 health potions restored.
Yep, they're back in your satchel or whatever it is that you stored them in previously.
We've also got those 3 doses of elixir as well.
You have, yeah.
Yeah. Would you like me to look after those? Because obviously, for the same reason, they are healing, and I'm a healer.
I'm thinking
all farm maybe just in case you get down and you can't use them.
Yeah, I was thinking if we all have one at least, like the healer has them all, apart from 2. If we have one each, it's only a bonus action to drink.
Yeah. Okay.
For yourself.
So for me, 4 of you guys, it's 1 each.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you'll have 4.
So it's just a normal health potion,
Yeah.
Potion.
Again, mine will probably be secretly mixed with alcohol, so it's up to Ollie if he wants to give you disadvantage if you take them, but...
I think that's absolutely fine. I think that's probably the best medicine that's about.
If I was you, I'd definitely go for disadvantage, but, it's your game.
Well, in that case, who can argue with such a compelling argument with that? So yeah, so Colin's personal healing elixir will give anyone who's not Colin disadvantage if they were to swig from it.
Probably for like an hour.
Okay. You said north and west of the Goblins, didn't you?
Yeah. So there are two doors from
north doors and an east door from my
2 doors from my kingdom. Meppo can guide you exactly to them. One is here, and one is here. I do not know what lies past these points. All I will tell you is that goblins are found that way.
We've got a kobold, we've got no Meppo.
Sorry?
So
I don't know if I can see that. Can you do it again?
Yes. Let me ping it again. Hold on. I'll zoom out a little bit and that'll help. Right. So one is here.
No, it's all right.
And one is here.
Yeah, I see that.
The other one's
Right, okay.
there-ish.
Yeah.
Well,
That's right. I think I just had a bit of a glitch.
What I'll do, I'll put a torch in front of each one. How's that? And then, so yeah.
You're being too generous.
Well, you've been past that area, so it's not illuminating anything you've not previously seen. So yeah, one there, and this room down here is where you first met Meepo or Meppo.
What's the one to the east?
Where are you thinking?
This.
You can have a look in there. There's nothing to hide in there. It's a goblin, not a goblin, beg your pardon. It's a kobold common room. I'll open the door, and you can go in and spread your love or whatever. There we are.
I've got bread.
That's like a little.
Yeah, there's lots of commoners in there and warriors as well. The structure of this particular colony is that the commoners are male and the warriors are females.
And these ones are the females, those ones?
Yes or no? Let me have a look.
I
know that they are. They are so the commoners have got the gold background, and the female warriors have got like the kind of silvery background. It's a patriarchal society for anyone who wants to know.
Can I do a history check on that actually? Because I know from previous experience with dragon types that obviously, if I say that, can I do a check? I don't know if I can even get the character sheet up. Obviously, I know there's certain dragon things about type. So can I do a check on that?
You can certainly do a history check, and I'll do my best to make up some bullshit that sort of fits in with what you're all thinking. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, do a history check. Yeah. Let's have a look. 12. Well, 12 will tell you that this patriarchal society is actually part of the chromatic dragon lineage, and that these particular kobolds are loosely related to bronze dragons. How does that sound?
I like it.
That works.
Yeah.
Cool. That's convincing. That's how you do it.
That is convincing. That is.
Okay. Yeah. So
Can
these
I
are.
turn to my companions, just whisper in their ears almost. Are we absolutely sure that they're not the bad kind of beasties?
Ah.
I will insight check them.
Can I
Good call.
do some sort of advantageous check with being sort of one of them?
Yeah. Are you a bronze dragon lineage kobold, or are you a different?
I'm a dragon kobold. I didn't consider colours.
So as far as Barynor's concerned, they are 100% trustworthy at this point.
There we go. I'll know.
Yeah.
Did they actually take my payment of 2 sapphires?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Durzo, you're sure that you know that bronze dragons, in particular, are friendlier line of dragons.
I would relay this to them. Sort of, I may have a bit of an advantage in reading them, their sort of facial cues and the way they talk and things.
Yeah.
Being that type, and relay that I'm 100% sure we can trust these.
Yeah. This clan really does just want their ancestral home back in their possession. They want to rid the place of the goblins fouling up the area, and they want to go back to worshipping their dragon gods and living peacefully.
Well, it sounds to me like they're worthy of a drink. So why don't we go to the common room, see what else we can learn, and maybe even have a drink?
Certainly, yeah.
We already had quite a rest. Do you really need another one for drink?
I do need a rest. I need a drink, and I'm asking why do we go there and see if we can learn any more about the goblin.
We can walk and drink.
So
we could do that too, but I want to know more.
There's at least 10 kobolds in this common room. They're all laughing and drinking and generally chilling out, it's the place to be if you're in a kobold colony.
And they're drinking.
I mean, after our last fight, I could do with a drink, yes. Those little icy things give us quite the fright. Yeah, sure. Let's have a drink.
Let's go for a drink. Come on.
Okay.
Durzo is currently sort of having a little chat with the warrior ladies, shall we say.
Okay.
Yeah, he sort of very confidently strolls behind you with them in tow towards the common room.
Come on, son, you go get you, son.
I don't think we're quite at the point of gripping shafts yet, so.
I'm not sure how kobolds get the groove on, to be fair. I believe they're egg-laying species.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. They're all quite in awe of you anyway. Let's just put it that way.
Colin, with a flask of mead in his hand, just in a kind of drunken manner, flays his arms out. Who wishes to take on the goblins of us? Or who knows anything about the goblins at all?
They all kind of stop what they're doing and look about, and they're like, "Ah, welcome! Come on in. We've heard of your arrival, and unbeknown to you guys, just about every kobold in this colony has taken a peek in the door while you were resting and recovering from your labours earlier on in the last session. So they're all quite familiar with who you are. It's you that are unfamiliar with them, so to speak."
I've questioned the lands and questioned the seas. This is the first time I've been in a dungeon. Give me some goblins. And if you've got anything else, let me know. But if it's mead, I'll have it now.
That's right, lads.
And there's a big roar goes up, and they all shout "Death to the goblins!" And someone throws a skin bladder towards you that's full of some sort of liquid, and warm yourself up with this, they shout. There's something's going around on a spit here. Doesn't look like a goblin. It's kind of sort of a small kind of giant rat kind of size, I suppose. They're feasting on that, but they're happy to share that with you as well.
Colin pops the cork on this flask and starts guzzling away, and he offers it round to his compatriots.
There's even a small kobold fella in the corner here with his squeeze box, busting out some tunes there for you all to listen to as well.
I would grab the bowl from Colin, take a massive gulp, and then go over to the musical kobold and join in.
Oh, brilliant. Yep. So they're playing a popular tune. I'm just trying to find it.
At this point, I would sort of put my knee up on, my leg up on the bench, lean down out of my little knapsack, pull my ocarina, and quietly start playing a kobold folklore tune to my little admiring group.
These are
Colin turns to you and just goes, laddie, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is not the kind of tune you need.
These are hard rocking kobolds, and they like a bit of metal deep in the dungeons.
Well, on my sheet I have a flute, a lute, and a set of bagpipes. So I'd probably be playing the lute over here.
I'd probably be asking the DM if he's got the midget saw.
Oh, let's have a look. I'm sure they'll find that one. They're singing about rum currently.
I can hear the strong Alestorm run.
What is going on here?
So you can see a couple in the corner, and they've got some carved up bones, probably goblin style bones, and they're having a game of dice as well in the corner there.
Can I investigate those, actually, as a doctor? Can I investigate those and gain the kind of information on how we might get an easy kill or an advantage on the goblins?
Investigate what? Sorry.
Investigate the bones, and if they've got goblin remains, and sort of see it as a doctor gain an advantage in terms of how to kill them from those bones.
Yep.
Okay, I'll roll investigation then.
Ooh, 21. Yeah, so you can look at the bones. They're certainly goblin. You've seen them before. These, you can't really tell how they've died because these bones have been whitened. They've been soaked in bleach and they've been carved into dice. So they're kind of been worked quite considerably. So all traces of how they died have gone. But the kobold that you've questioned about the bones has pointed out to you there are some goblin prisoners, and let's just say the drink has been flowing and they're not adverse to the idea of if you want to torture one to find out more information, they'd be quite happy to go and drag one in here for you.
Yeah, you're talking my language now, laddie.
Oh.
Let's strap one to the table and let's see what we can find.
And with that, he'll scuttle off, and they drag back in this poor fellow here. There he is. And he sort of squeals and kind of looks at you.
I'm playing the lute pretty hard right now.
Okay, so Colin's kind of overlooking the strapped over, this goblin that's been strapped to the table. He wants to know what best way to kill them. Now, I'll be honest, I have no flipping idea. What is the best role? What is the best role to discover how to kill?
Medicine roll, maybe.
Well, I was going to say, it depends how you want to put. I mean, you got intimidation is on there, investigation is on there, survival is on there. This goblin has just spat on you and laughed.
To be honest, I would go
Colin's kind of beard and he's taking it in his stride. I think what we'll do is I'm going to do an investigation roll and see how that goes, and then I will narrate how it goes depending on the roll.
Go for it, yeah.
So I'm going to do an investigation roll.
Oh, beautiful. That's a crit. Natural 20.
So Colin has wiped the spit from the goblin into the spit, and he's just looked him in the eyes and gone, "Yeah, you be fucked now, my son." And he takes out his axe, and the first thing he does is he just waves it in front of his face, and then he licks the blade just to intimidate him a little bit further. And then he puts it up above his head, and he swings it in close to his face, and he just goes, "You ain't got no fucking idea what you're in for now, son." And he rolls him over. He kind of unties him, rolls him over enough that he's still bound, but he's not bound enough. He rebinds him, and then he goes in for that old Viking ritual.
Oh,
he
blood
starts
eagle.
cleaving it back. He's going in for a blood eagle.
Oh my goodness.
So Colin's cleaving away, just laughing in his own little way. There's blood spurting everywhere. And with this brutal display, he's actually taking in every aspect of this creature's physiology, and he gets to learn, I guess, the way to kill them and where their weak points are, and he wants to relay that to the rest of the group.
Well.
Go on, Ali. How are you working this one?
Well, no, absolutely, and I think with roleplay of that magnitude, you certainly gain a point of inspiration. So you can add that. So that's a yeah. So that's a is that a re-roll in it? I think on your to use it any time.
You to use it to give yourself advantage.
So you've got a point of inspiration you can use to give yourself advantage.
Okay.
And whilst this is bordering on metagaming, I can tell you some information from the Goblin stat block if you don't already know it.
Okay.
They haven't actually got any vulnerabilities or resistances. They're not very strong at all, so they've got -1 for strength. So wrestling them is probably quite a good move. But they do get a nimble escape as a bonus action. So they can disengage or hide as a bonus action.
Yeah, you could probably glean that from hacking to death.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not very strong. Charisma is pretty low, as you've probably smelt from the fear that was draining from this creature. But other than that, they're fairly weak. Yeah, you looking at their physiology, their general biology, and the way it presented yourself, you would guess that they are around 7 hit points to kill them.
So Colin heads towards Durzo, bloodied. His beard is now red rather than grey. And he literally says, "Those can't be easy to kill."
He just looks up at them and goes, sort of quite shocked at how red you are, head to toe sort of thing, and it's like, I'll take your word for that one.
And as you're talking, the 5 warriors that are surrounding you, Durzo, wander over to the carcass of this still warm goblin and start cutting pieces of his meat off, putting them on skewers, and they're chucking them into this fire here because they're off to war in a minute and they're hungry.
Do any of these kobolds celebrate my victory?
You've reached a new status in their clan, that's for sure. They're busy throwing all the drink that's available at you. They've got you arm in arm and they're dancing a jig with you, and you are generally an all-round hero of the day.
Oh god.
I'll take that.
Their trust in you is immeasurable now. They're as far as they're concerned, you're one of them.
Excellent. Also good.
The Queen Yisdrael wanders into the room. She hears a commotion. She wanders in, and she just turns to look at you, Colin, and says, "If you make it back alive, be sure to drop in and see me before you leave." And departs again.
Leave me right here, no you problems at all.
She gives you a cheeky wink and then disappears again.
Oh, that tickles me thickness.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Well.
You're all speechless.
Happy dogs around here.
Oh yeah, that's my mutts downstairs. They're puppies. Every shadow that's about, they seem to want to attack. We've taught them well.
Including their own, or?
Yeah, they're only labradoodles, but they think they're Rottweilers.
So what's the plan, guys?
I'll be honest, I've lost the plot. I just got so engrossed in killing that damn orc. Goblin, whatever the hell it was.
That's commonly known as a goblin, and yes, I did see you enjoy yourself a little.
Durzo stands up.
The bloodlust.
A currently everyone in this room is currently eating Goblin, and some of them are calling for the other 3 prisoners to be slaughtered so they can carry on the feast. But the music is running, the rum is flowing, and you 3 adventurers are the best thing since sliced bread currently.
I would stand up and turn to Colin. You sure you don't fancy being a barbarian?
I think we should either do one of 2 things. Blood eagle the lot, or blow the fuckers up. Have they got any cannon fire around here or anything? Let's blow them up.
We intend to come back here, and we will need meat for when we are back. So I say at this point we press on.
As long as they got enough grub, that's all that matters to me.
He'll agree with you and sort of start making his way towards the door.
Okay. So
that route was not what I expected.
Barynor is playing. He's quite upset that we have to leave.
I'm pretty sure Ollie's listening to Rum right now.
yeah, it's all on there. Bit of background music. I rather like that band, I've got to be honest. I've been listening to a little bit of Alestorm, and it suits. It's very nice. Yeah. It is very good.
Have you listened to Glory Hammer yet?
I did listen to a little bit of Glory Hammer as well. Yeah, very cool.
Well, it's the same guys. It's the same guys.
Yeah, I know. It's. I think my Alexa is busy feeding back to the mothership that it's in the home of some weird people, because some of the things I've been asking it to play would probably not the usual. Let's just say it's not Michael Bublé around here.
No,
Do you 2 have a preference on which of these 2 doors you want to take?
Hang on, I will tell you.
Colin's currently in a bloodlust and he has no preference on where he wants to go.
I'm happy to take that one.
Only because I rolled for it and it came up.
So we would go this way.
Hey. Okay. Right.
So has anyone actually breached the door? Are we inside the room or?
Let me switch on my dynamic lighting. I will move the
I'll move myself out of the way.
There we go.
Not always
Right.
a good idea.
That's it. Plonk yourself back where you was a minute. Oh, there we go. You like midget storm, don't you? That's another one. Oh, midget. What's it called? Midget saw.
Midget saw. What is this? All I can hear is that it's cool rock, but I don't know what it is.
It's a song about, basically, a bunch of pirates. They're not very happy with the fact a short man has killed a monkey with his boot. So they strap him to a table and they chop off his legs.
Okay.
So this band, their songs are very pirate-esque, but they're kind of hard rock as well, and they're very good actually.
Well, it's what we'd call pirate metal.
Pirate metal. Are they from your part of the world?
No, they're from Scotland.
Oh, from Scotland, are they? Do you know, some of the words they pronounced sounded almost Welsh, and I wondered whether they were Celtic. But obviously, you got the Cornish and the Welsh and the Scots, so all fit that category.
No, Cornish and Welsh is one thing, but Gaelic is basically Scottish and Irish. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Alestorm.
Hailstorm, yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, it's been a very long time since I heard the name of that band.
But yeah, no, it's interesting because obviously the Cornish are very associated with being pirates. So anyway, back to the game.
And you're all back in the room.
So yeah, I highly recommend anyone who's watching, have a look at Hailstorm. Midget Saw and Drink are the 2 of our favourite songs at the moment. They get you in the you'll know what we're talking about. Right.
If you want to go far enough, look into Cornwall's history of piracy.
Yes. Oh yeah.
You need to get on that game I was talking about earlier, Mike, and we'll play this in the background.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
Back to this game.
Yes.
Right, so as you enter this room, I'd like you all to take a perception check, please.
A perception check.
Yeah, man.
Yay! A whole 9.
Oh, I can do that without doing that. Hang on. This is me and the computer skills are not very good. Oh, what's that?
But your perception skills, however.
Right. So, despite the Blood Eagle and the copious amounts of rum that Colin has ingested so far, he does notice that the floor here seems to be not quite as it should be. And on closer investigation, he can see quite clearly that there is some form of a trap hidden in the floor just there.
Lads, I'm not so steady on my foot or my peg leg right now.
There is
yeah. There is definitely a trap up ahead.
There's a narrow catwalk either side, which you are able to shimmy along if you want.
You seem to check doors and walls with it. How about you check the floor, your wooden leg as well?
Well, I just give it a bloody good kick.
It's like that.
That's one way to find it.
This floor don't sound like it should do.
Exactly.
Oh, that set the dogs off, look. Oh, look at that. We've got chickens in our front garden. I'm sure they want to eat them.
I can attempt to disarm this. I'm pretty proficient in that. Or can we just avoid it?
Well, you can see there's a catwalk along the side. You are of sufficient sort of dexterity to be able to shimmy along it without falling in the pit.
What I would say, lads, is one thing. Whoever laid this trap wasn't too bright, because there's enough room for us to shimmy around the side.
I don't see how you're going to shimmy, old man. You only have one leg.
I might have one leg, but what I don't have in terms of the legs, I've gone up here in the head region.
I think you're missing it in both, but let's carry on.
Colin just hiccups at you.
Okay. And so you're at the other side of the room, yeah? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hop, skip and a jump.
You
Okay.
need to make a check to get to the other side of the room?
Let me, sorry?
You need to make a check, like an athletics check or anything?
No, you can, it's not, you've spotted the trap and you've gone along the side of it. It's only a crude thing to stop the goblins breaking into the kobolds and the kobolds breaking into the goblins. It marks no man's land, that's all.
Right, okay.
So there's a corridor in front of you. First appearances appears to be empty.
Shall I kick the door?
Of course. You're so good at it, Colin. We're getting just...
Alright, you don't have to sound so condescending. I'll give it a little kick. Hang on a minute. Here we go.
Yeah, so as you kick the door, it just has a normal echo of a door and nothing untoward. Certainly nothing you wouldn't expect to hear.
Right, come on then, lads. Seems good to me. Durzo, you go first.
Yeah, slinks to the corner and has a little sort of peep round. If I can move over there. I'm on snap to grid. There we go.
Yeah, I didn't quite get the grids aligned properly.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
Mainly due to my incompetence. But yeah, the next map I set up a little bit better. I watched a tutorial on YouTube, as you do, as the kids do, and it worked out alright. But this one is not quite aligned with the grid that you see on your map, unfortunately. But hey ho.
Durzo would turn back like, Barynor, are you with us?
I am coming.
I would use this opportunity to take a time out.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, I would like to refresh the coffee.
Oh yes, I'm with you now. Yeah. Okay, we'll resume action in 5 minutes.
Norris.
Hey, we're all back. Okay.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Right, yeah, so you're in this little nondescript corridor at the moment.
Zoom out a bit.
Well, I'll sneak forward. Why not?
There's a little door here, you can probably see it on your map. The dynamic lighting, so you can see it.
Can I see if the door's got any sort of lock, or is it just a standard sort of...
It's a pretty
door?
standard door at the moment. Pretty standard.
Shall I give it a kick?
Well, I think, to be honest, we've got to go through it if we've come this way. There's no other way.
What I didn't do is number it.
Colin moves in. For give it a kick. There you go. Let's do an investigation. Give it a kick.
Knock, knock.
Oh, look at that. Okay, 15 will tell you that you can hear. Well, let me. I'll play you what you can hear. You can hear a laughter that sounded vaguely familiar not so long ago when you got spat in the face.
Something tells me, lads, there'll be green skins on the other side of this door.
Yeah. That's it. There we go.
I like that. I've downloaded that soundboard now after that.
Oh. That was a lit I accidentally pressed. There we go.
There's
Sorry.
more than greenskins, really.
No, it's just the goblin laughter.
Their legs. They don't need their legs.
Yeah, so that although when you kick the door they have gone strangely quiet.
I would ready my bow and try and sort of kick the door open.
If I had an oar, I'd slap them with it.
Very dramatic. Right, let me get this door out of the way. Dun, 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 tsh. There we go. So, there's 3 goblins in there, and you guys are now in initiative because, just like you, they readied their bows when they heard the kicking on the door. You do have Meepo and 5 kobolds with you as well, don't forget.
We do not have Meepo in the journal, but we do have the kobolds.
God damn it, why not?
I don't know.
Let me have a look.
I don't know, Davey.
Probably my inability to work anything remotely to... Oh, yeah. Let me add it. Hold on a second.
What's it off that? That Davey? It's in my head, I don't know why.
I don't know. Thought it was your personal Teddy Ruxpin or something.
Whoa. Whoa.
I got it from Family Guy.
I think that's probably where I've heard it. Well, I don't know.
So, as far as the goblins and Meepo are concerned, you guys are free to do with them what you want. You can tell them to jump in, you can tell them to hang back, you can do what you like.
Okay. I'm going to... No, because I always enter the room first and I end up getting killed,
Well,
so...
with me booting the door open, I'd probably just, if that's alright, just loot an arrow straight through the sort of open doorway.
Yeah, well, we'll do initiative because they heard you banging on the door and they all got their arrows ready as well. So it was kind of a whoever draws first, hence the initiative. Right, let me put in. So first up is Goblin. This chappy here. So he's going to move forward. Who's in the doorway? Is that Durzo?
I believe Durzo was kicking said door open.
Okay, he's going to use his short sword to make an attack. So that's 11 and 7. Does 11 hit?
11. No.
Okay. So, what do we do now? I can't remember. Yep, there we go. Durzo's go.
He's gonna loose his arrow at this one down at the bottom.
Okay.
When I find it.
That does make it quicker, doesn't it, on here? I think the old combat's a bit quicker on here, which is nice.
Yeah.
Oh, 20, definitely. Is it this fellow here you're shooting at? Yeah, cool. Yeah, 20 definitely hits. 5 piercing. So whack in there, -5, bada bing. Yep, so he squeals.
I'll move just behind the wall, so for a little bit out of...
Okay. So the next goblin is the one you just shot at. And he is going to... He's just going to move back here and he's going to use his action to ready his bow. The next person that pops around the corner he's going to shoot his bow at.
Fair enough.
I think you can ready it. Yeah, you can, yeah. Okay.
What does readying in action actually do? It give you any sort of bonuses or anything?
Let me read off of my downloaded DM's thing. So ready in action is basically you hold your action until... So you say whatever the circumstances are that would trigger your action. So he said whoever pops his head round the door he's going to shoot his arrow at. So basically you don't do anything on your turn, but as soon as whatever it is you've said happens... you
so
take...
it sort of delays their turn until a specific event?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that's quite good for me. So Colin the pirate.
Assuming that these goblins can speak common, Goblin just calls out. Colin calls out, "Lads, could we reach an accord?"
They do indeed speak common. They say,
Who are you?
"Well, I be Colin the pirate, and I wish no harm upon any green skin, and that's God's honest truth."
Who the fuck is Colin?
Colin be a name to be feared, for I've slain many a beastie in my time.
We don't know Colin.
You might not know Colin now, but you let me in that room and I swear to God you'll know my name by the end of it.
What do you bloody want, Colin?
I want information, or your guts.
Whoa. What kind of information?
I can give you gold, or rum if you wish. Either way, I want to know what you know about this place.
What are you talking about? We could just take your gold if we wanted it.
You can fucking well try if you wish, my lad, but I'm telling you now, I'm going down by the fight.
What do you want to know about this place?
I want to know your affiliation with the kobolds and their leaders.
Kobolds? We hates them.
You hate them, you say?
Yeah, we hates them.
At that point, Durzo would lift his cowl back over his face.
What leads you to hate them, I wonder?
We hates them. We hates the look of them. We hates the taste of them. We hates the smell of them. We hates them.
Well, I'm telling you now, we ain't kobold. We're human, we're elf. Maybe a little bit of kobold. But if you want to come out here and talk...
You don't come on through then.
You don't agree with what we're going to say. You can taste us instead, and then we're going to be better than them.
Why don't you leave your weapons at the door and come in here and we can talk?
I don't leave my weapons nowhere, sunshine.
I think the boss would like to meet you.
Who's the boss?
I don't know, let me look at my character sheet. Hold on a minute. Right, hold on a minute. Yeah, Grell. Grell is the boss. Grell and Dern.
Well, I tell you what, Sonny. Go get Grell now and bring him to the door.
Grell don't come to the border no more.
I can tell you now, you bring Grell to the door, I got two 32-pounders planted at the doorway, ready to blow you to bits.
Grell won't come to the border, are you deaf? You want to see Grell, you come in and you come in peace.
Can I roll intimidation for the two 32-pounders? I ain't got intimidation, but I'm going to give it a go.
Go for it.
Should have done it. Has it done it? No.
I can't see, no.
Hang on.
Oh, 18.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh. So, what are the 32-pounders in? What exactly are we...
Some portable 32-pound cannons pointing at this doorway. You bring Grow to us, or I'm going to blow you to bits, sunshine.
Oh. You wait there, we'll go and get him. How about that?
That sounds like a good plan to me.
And with that, the 3 goblins all disappear out of this door here. And they don't come back.
Right then, lads. Looks to me like we got a window of opportunity.
Right, let me turn.
This session is not going anything like I expect it to.
Oh, you tried prepping for you bastards.
The thing is, you've got you two, which are quite serious, and then me. I never play serious.
That's a good mix, though.
It's perfect.
So
I was going to play, and I was like, I'd like to meet the captain, and then I was just like, nah, fuck it, let him roll with it.
It's not always serious. It's just this character was brought up that way, sort of thing.
I never play serious.
I have a rather odd turtle in my other campaign. It's just a piss.
You should have played the other game I played at Volley, where I had Steinar the Deathlight Dragonborn. I
Oh,
was
yeah.
ripping people to bits. Should we enter the room and just see what happens?
I'm happy to go with whatever. I love it. The more chaos, the better.
That is my alignment, so fuck it.
Come on, lads. Enter the breach.
One last time into the breach. The last good fighter, let me know.
Although saying that, I don't seem to be able to move my token. Oh, here we go.
There he is. So yeah, what can I tell you about this room?
Me not standing on the fire for one.
Not a massive amount. Basically, this room smells of dirty arseholes. It stinks. It's like a teenager's bedroom, but of a goblin variety. There are some wine skins laying around that contain some vinegary wine. And lots of worthless bits of clutter, but nothing else.
I thought you said lots of words as well. Like, yes.
Interestingly, Colin is that bothered about the wine. He's going straight for that doorway, and I'm going to give it a good kick.
Oh, I'll tell you what. There is a little bit of writing I could read out to you. It's only one of those flavour things that they had, but I'll do it anyway. It says the stench of garbage and carrion here are evidence of years of use by unsanitary tenants. Tattered hides stretched on frames from 6 unstable hammocks around a much used fire pit. Battered cooking equipment is mixed indiscriminately with broken or worn arms and armour. There you are.
Okay.
Ooh.
For me, I don't know about the rest of the group. I'm quite happy to bash on that door again with investigation, see what happens on the other side, and shout out, given what we just encountered.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. They already know that we're here. They're obviously not coming back.
I'll kick the door, and with the kick, it's a very simple shout out.
Open this door, you cowards, or you're gonna get it.
And at this point, I'd move up close to Colin, because if I go through that door, I have a little secret that I want to explain to the goblins.
Okay, so you can't hear anything directly behind that door for the moment.
I would like to try and persuade them to let me in and speak to the leader if there is anybody there.
You call out, but you can't hear anybody at the moment.
I'm gonna try one thing. It might not work, but give me 2 seconds. No, it didn't work. Colin just shouts, "I've got the guts of one of your kind on my axe, and I'm willing to fucking get the rest of you bastards."
And still is silence.
I'll go in the door.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a plan.
Okay.
As I go through the door, in Goblin.
Oh! I moved a bit of wall instead of a bit of door. Let me try that again. Here we are. Ba-ding. So, in this room, let me just put some torches in there.
Remember, it's Grell.
So, where are we? 39. Several torches mounted in crude sconces burn fitfully around the chamber, filling the air with a haze. A double row of marble columns carved with entwining dragons runs the full length of the hall.
As I walk into this room, I am shouting in Goblin that I come in peace and I wish to talk to Grell.
And with that, the door this side opens, and there is all kinds of cackling and laughter and whatnot coming from within. And with that, oh shit! Hold on, let me get the right doodart. Oh fucking hell! Come on. Right, here we are. Here we go. With that, some rather burly goblins come wandering in. 4 of them to start with, but you can hear from this direction that there's considerably more in this room. They tell you to drop your weapons and come with us.
Drop your weapons and come with us.
Kind of like that.
I'm unarmed.
Colin's going to enter the room in behind, if I can.
Hand over your weapons, elf.
Can I do a stealth check to see if I can sort of stay hidden but over here and sort of follow if they do end up going?
Yeah, you may.
Sort of.
They haven't seen you yet, so that's enough to be hidden yet.
Yeah, I'll sort of stay over this way, out of sight a bit. Just doing a bit of a creeping.
Okay.
Colin's out in the room and he's just going to shout,
"Avast, ya bastards! I ain't dropping no weapons."
I'll say the kobolds and stuff are still sort of back here with me.
They're around here.
Yeah, I'll have them around in this corridor.
So all the kobolds are hiding down here out the way, and you're hidden up as well. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sort of like planning maybe a little backup siege army sort of idea.
Yeah.
So
I have a plan. This is a perfect bottleneck. This here is a perfect bottleneck. I can probably get rid of these 3 in one attack. So that's my plan.
okay, well, Colin's got a different plan.
Colin always has a different plan.
So Colin, realising he's outnumbered, is willing to negotiate, and with our kobold friend currently hidden, because I'm sure that will stir them into a frenzy.
That's
And
the idea.
we're not kobold. We're going to go straight in there. We've presented ourselves. So Colin's going in with,
Do you wish to parley, or do you wish to die?
Grell will talk to you, but you need to give me your weapons first.
I have no weapons.
You must have something, elf.
I tell you what. Bring us Grell. If Grell's willing to come to us, I may drop me weapons.
Right, and so the goblins say to you, "We ain't asking you twice." And 2 of them approach each of you to give you a rub-down search.
And I would like to intimidate them.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
I'm pretty good at this one, apparently.
Well, you
According to
You can give it a go, but there's what's that? There's at least 6 there, and then more in that one. But yeah, go ahead.
How am I going to do this? Because I can take 4 of these out in one shot.
We're not talking about attacks. We're talking about negotiation.
I'm talking about getting them to back off a little bit.
Oh, I forgot I had that.
I can either shove one of them and intimidate them that way, or I can kill 4 of them and intimidate them that way.
I wouldn't.
The long and short of it is they're going to give you a rub down search, unless you can find a way out of it.
As one comes towards me, I'm going to shove them as hard as I can and try and intimidate them. Basically say, put your hands on me again, you're going to lose them.
Okay.
Not so good.
So certainly you can shove one back, and with that, the rest of them all draw their bows. And
One more roo from you, Ranger, and you're dead on the spot. Now hand over your weapons.
Lads, I've got an idea. No one needs to die right now. So how about this? I'll give you 10 gold each, and a little bit of rum. And you bring Grell to us, and we don't need to unarm ourselves.
I'm no ranger, by the way. I hold no weapons.
What do you say?
Well, we like the idea of the gold, but Grell won't come down and see you here. He's the boss. You go to him.
Right, we'll go to him. But I'll give you 10 gold each, and no one needs to lose their weapons.
okay. Yeah, they accept your deal.
So how many am I giving gold to?
Well, there's 6 of them here that can see you.
6. So 60 gold each. Or 60
60 in total.
gold, sorry. Let me just... So I've got 83 gold left. Okay, so I paid them off. I'll give them 10 gold
And
each.
they say, follow us. And so you start following this guy here.
Right.
That's it, I'll just move you into it. This room that you're in now is full, as you can see, of goblin commoners. These 3 here will follow you. They don't know anything about Durzo down there. But what they will do, because they don't know any different... oh, fucking hell. Grab that. Hold on. Just trying to get all this out. They do shut the door behind them.
Okay.
This door?
Yep.
Cool.
And
Who's the one they call Grell?
so they carry on through here, and sorry, I have to keep switching between layers because the alright, there we go. And this door opens here, and they lead you into here. So if you want to follow in, yep.
Oh, 2 seconds. Yep.
And the other 6 goblins will follow you behind.
This is a lot of goblins.
This I'm fine with.
And so here you are in here. Let me find Grell. I think that's that chap. Hold on.
Who's the one they call Grell?
Oh, bollocks. Let me just grab him. Hold on. Where is it? Yeah, so this fella here is Grell.
Okay.
Sorry, which one?
The one at the top is Grell.
Okay, so Colin's
Yeah.
just going to shout across.
And then we've got...
Who's the one? Grell.
I am Grell.
And what do you want?
What do you mean, what do I want?
Oh, shit.
We must want something. You must want something, Sunshine.
Hold on, I just shut roll 20 off by accident.
Oops.
Just give me a second. Let me log on. I don't know what I did that for.
Quick, attack! He can't defend himself.
It's alright. It's rather embarrassing with millions of people watching. Or should I say 3?
I've stabbed people a couple of times, and that should kill everybody here, including me and possibly Colin.
Don't.
Right. Oh, what's that?
Someone else could ask for cannons.
I'm going to sort of see if I can make a bit of a noise, throw a stone or a bit of that junk you mentioned in here, see if I can draw that guy in.
Okay. I'm just trying to, get my... with you in a sec, sorry. That's it, right. I'm just trying to get the old computer back up, and well, I shut it down. I shut down XSplit at the same time like a Burke. Right, but I think we're all up and running again, so that's all good. Right, so, sorry, beg your pardon. Yeah, so this guy's Grell. What did you want to do, sorry?
I just want to make some, like, you know, chuck a bit of rubbish or knock something over, all that crap you said in that room, see if that guy will draw himself in here.
Which guy are you talking about?
You've left one guy in this room here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'll go and investigate. He don't see you, he just strolls straight in because he's just a goblin.
Go for a sort of, you know, just sort of try and kill him from behind.
You can do a stealth attack, are you? Or
give me any sort of advantage, or would I just go for an attack?
Yeah, you can have a surprise attack, which you're hidden, so you get advantage anyway. So you can add your sneak attack to that.
So it'd be this. That doesn't seem to have done anything.
Hey, yeah, 15 hits. You got an added D6 to that as well for your sneak attack. 2, so 7 total is kill.
And then, I don't need that, but that was there anyway. And with that, I'd signal for these to just sort of follow me here, and I'd go and listen at the other door.
So he's dead, yeah.
See if I can hear anything from up here.
So we're back to us now.
Yeah. So you can hear lots of commotion in this big room here. It's full of goblin commoners.
Cool.
So Colin just wants to, you know, shout across the Grell. What do you want with these ugly bastard kobolds?
As he does that, Barynor's translating to Goblin for him.
They speak common.
I know, but I'm trying to make it a little bit easier on the diplomacy here. We're in a room that we could get messed up in.
Yeah, but just remember, I'm trying to appeal to their sense of right, and so that we can get what we want.
Yeah, and I'm trying to translate so it makes it more commendable, I think.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
We hates the goblin, we hates the kobolds. They shouldn't be here, this is our place, we is here first.
You just say you ate the goblin.
Ate the kobolds is what we ate. We ate everybody. We ate some goblins.
So what are you doing here? What are you trying to share their house for?
We was here first. They're invaders. They're scum.
Right, let me tell you now. I don't give a shit who was here first. All I want to know is, what do you know about a magic apple?
I know a bit about magic apples. Who's asking?
Well, if I was to promise you I'd kill the kobold horde, would you tell me more?
Well, I might be able to acquire a magic apple. We sell them once a year.
You sell a magic apple? Do you have such an item now?
Well, I might be able to acquire one for a price.
What kind of price you talking?
I'm a businessman. Let's say 200 gold pieces.
200 gold? What if I told you I had several cannons at my disposal, magical or not, that might be able to wipe this place to the fucking bottom of the earth, unless you gave me what I wanted?
Maybe you could supply us with cannons. That would seem like a fair trade for apples.
Surprise you? I ain't gonna surprise you, Sunshine. I'm gonna tell you now.
Supply, not surprise.
Supply, oh sorry, I'm hard of hearing, I'm an old man.
I think that maybe you would be better speaking to my boss.
Yes.
Hang on. You're telling me you ain't the boss.
Can I speak to your boss, please?
Yeah, you can certainly speak to my boss.
He might even lick his balls if you're lucky.
I'll get one of my hobgoblin friends here to take you down to him.
That sounds like a good plan.
Well, it was nice knowing you, Sunshine. Off you go.
Okay, come on then.
And with this, he clicks
It's
his
like the most
finger.
violent party split I've ever seen.
He clicks his finger and points to this guy, and this guy ushers you over to this pit and points down.
Down here.
And starts to climb down into this into here.
Oh dear, I really want to kick him. Do I kick him? No, I won't. I will join him safely, and I will go down and see his boss.
Okay. So this pit that you climb into descends for approximately 80 feet into darkness, and as you disappear down into the pit, Colin is left all alone in this circular chamber with these goblins and hobgoblins.
Probably.
To be fair, I understand that I've left Colin alone, but I know there is someone with a small battalion of kobolds behind them, just a door or so away, because that's where we left them.
Barynor, what do you see down there, laddie?
Well, it's a bit dark. Luckily, I have Fey ancestry, or I wouldn't see shit.
You can only faintly hear one another, and I won't turn the other map on just yet. But at the bottom of the pit, you're in a dark square room. Apparently, just you and the hobgoblin for the moment. But you're kind of fade to black as you descend down into this pit. It's 80 foot deep, which is quite a considerable depth.
Colin's going to offer some rum to the goblins surrounding him on the upper tier, just to try and make friends.
I can't help the feeling that we're stretching ourselves thin here. Seeing death on the horizon.
Okay. So you can pass around the rum. Is this rum that you've carried with you, or is this rum that you pilfered from the room?
Rum, I'd imagine, from the yawning portal in.
These goblins are quite keen on rum, and they take up the offer and lap it down with quite gusto.
Cool. Is that the 1, 2, 3, 4 in my vicinity?
Yeah, I'll say it's certainly the goblins that followed you in. Yeah. So
The pipe split is not a problem. He had rum to smooth things over.
rum to spare. So Grell and Dern are standing here, but sort of this chap, and this chap will certainly drink some of your rum.
Excellent. That's the one.
Okay. So so what's Durzo doing currently? Still listening at the door, or?
Durzo is Could he hear the sort of exchange from the room across where they were before he went down the pit?
He wouldn't be able to hear the words. I wouldn't have thought. Let me just have a look. It's quite a distance. Yeah. I mean, you're 2 rooms away and quite a distance. You could certainly hear talking, but you wouldn't be able to hear the details of the conversation. This room here is quite loud. It's
got quite a few people.
Yeah, they're all milling about in here.
Can I have a listen at this door?
Yep. Give us an investigation check.
Investigation. Oh dear. I don't know why I've done that with advantage, but 3.
You don't hear anything in particular.
I kind of want to go to the action, but I don't think me running through with a little army next to me would be wise at this point. But I don't like the fact that he's gone down a big pit. Temporarily, he'll sit tight.
Okay. We can break if you want. I'm not gonna. This is quite a tricky situation for you guys. If you want to dwell on it until next session, you can do, or we'll carry on. I'm easy either way.
That borders on metagaming, and I really don't like metagaming.
No, I don't mean it from that point of view. I just looking at the time and looking how things are panning out. It's a bit of a.
This isn't the place to leave it.
No, I know.
It's not the place to leave it. I want to carry on. I'm just trying to have a bit of a thing.
My plan is kill the guy that I'm with, come back up, kill everybody else except Colin.
You can't see the room that you're in, though. He said he's not loaded.
Hang on a minute. I've just given rum to the 4 guys around me.
Yeah.
So can I not just do? Hang on a minute. Can I just do a roll? Just an investigation roll. Just to like whisper in the ear of the guy next to me, who I've just given rum to, so I'm guessing he'd roll at disadvantage, or at least he's a bit more loose lips to tell me what is going to happen in that pit. Not broadcast at the group, just to tell me.
Yeah.
So Colin leans over. I'm going to do an investigation roll, and he wants to know what is going to happen in this pit. Oh fuck!
And this goblin just laughs, and he's going, "Ah, he's going to go and see the boss, isn't he?"
Okay, in that case, Colin's going to take another thing. And he's leaning in, going, "Just to remind you, I've got some cannons trained on this place."
He just looks at you, and bearing in mind that you're on your own in a room with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of his friends, a 12 intimidation isn't really enough to worry him particularly. They're not particularly intelligent creatures, and they feel like they've got the upper hand at the minute.
I know what I could do. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just look at my character sheet. Give me 2 seconds. I know what I could do.
That's what I'm doing. I'm reading through my character sheet furiously, seeing if I've got any sort of...
Yeah, but I do. And I'm wondering if, because I know that I carry this in my satchel because I okayed it with Ollie first. Okay, so could Colin actually impress them by leaning in and saying to the same goblin that he just tried to intimidate, "What if I show you a magic trick?" And I say a magic trick. What if I show you the power of the gods?
Well, these goblins are pretty dim, so he looks quite enthusiastic at that idea.
Okay, so Colin actually, at that point, puts his hands on the shoulder of this god. He has the right materials, because we've okayed that at the start. He casts a cantrip light. So the goblin that he puts his hands on actually lights up. he becomes a luminous. So the whole room lights up. This goblin is glowing. Is that enough to do something to them?
Absolutely. They all, because they're all, this place is dark, don't forget. They all rely on their dark vision to be able to see what's going on. Just for a split second, they're all like that. They put their hands up and look out the way. And the goblin that's glowing, he can't really get away from the light, and he stumbles and falls down the pit. And as he falls down the pit, he kind of falls past Barynor and the hobgoblin and lands with a lifeless thud at the bottom of the pit, taking 8d6 bludgeoning damage as he is just a splattered bloody pool of slop at the bottom of this pit. But as he falls down the pit, the light fades and everyone sort of comes back to their senses.
Was it enough to impress them?
Well, they're quite confused, to be honest, and a little bit. I'm not sure whether they were impressed or intimidated or what, but they were. They don't know how to react to that, to be honest. They're all taken aback a little bit. They're on guard. You're in there. You're in the boss's chamber, and you've just done a bit of magic. They're quite scared of you now, so they're all going to reach for their weapons and pull them out, and they're ready for action now.
No, lads, there's no need for that. I'm just trying to show you. The goblin
I'm
are
going
on
to
my side.
I'm going to shout back up to Colin and ask if there is a problem, as someone just merely missed me.
It was
and is now a goblin puddle.
There's no problem there, lad. I'm just trying to show these guys.
I can come back up.
Really the boss.
I can meet the boss, or I can come and help.
I don't need no help at the moment. I'm just trying to show these guys who's in charge, really.
Okay. I'm guessing that's a thumbs up.
And I don't think you're getting back up from that hole anyway.
Grell kind of looks at you. He doesn't trust you one little bit. He's going to do an investigation check against your intimidation. So if you roll intimidation, he's going to roll investigation, and we'll see who pans out the best here.
Do you need to do a roll?
Yeah, if you can.
On what? Intimidation?
Yeah, and I'll roll intelligence.
Intimidation. Oh dear.
Oh.
That's not.
Okay. So he looks at you, and he instructs the others to put some handcuffs on you. He doesn't trust you one little bit. He's not liking the look of what's happening. And
Put some cuffs on him. I don't trust him.
and with that, the hobgoblins and the other goblin. Well, there's two goblins, two hobgoblins, and Dern, who's overseeing it. They'll approach you and start putting handcuffs on you.
That's right, lads. You cuff me up. We'll soon see who's the favoured one.
Okay, and assuming you're not going to try and oppose that, you are now restrained.
That's fine.
Okay, so you're restrained in the chamber up there, and Barynor has descended into the pit. Durzo. How would you like to proceed?
Durzo feels like he's waited long enough and feels like something's sort of amiss. So he's going to go on through this door. He's going to ready his bow, and as soon as he opens the door, just let loose, because he's got a real sense of unease about this.
He's bringing the armies, boys.
So you're storming in, are you?
That's I'm going to attempt to sort of storm this room, this very busy room.
Do you guys want to have a quick? Do you want to have a conflab before you go any further, or I'm not encouraging metagaming or anything. I just
I don't particularly want to die, but I believe as they're all kobolds, my little army, they all get these pack tactics.
Yeah.
I want to try and negotiate with you guys that restrain me.
I'm just trying to get hold of this bloody door, but it's moving the wall. Which is rather irritating.
Advantage on attack rolls against creature if at least one kobold ally is within 5 feet of the creature.
Fuck. Oh, come on, you bastard.
You would know that being a kobold.
Yeah.
Ollie, can I just roll persuasion a minute, and then if it works, we'll do dialogue.
Yep.
No.
Oh, I can't get hold of this bloody door. Trying to get hold of this door. Go on.
That's Colin's new nickname now for Barynor. Colin the Consistent.
Right.
Have you got any thoughts about me storming this room?
For pack tactics, I just realised you need to be within 5 feet. So if you could focus fire, as fighters would know to do, try and stay out of the metagaming world because I dislike it. But tactically, you would know that as fighters.
Tactically, I would say you are going to die if you go in that room.
There are a lot in there.
Yes.
But I don't know what else I can do at this point.
I'll be honest.
Point,
I mean, from my point
at
of
this
view.
point, I'll sit
Go on.
there.
Yep. I mean,
I'm gonna. In fact, I'll have an attempt at sort of checking these 3 doors out and see if I can discern anything from them. Maybe I can get around it a bit.
I think the thing is, we haven't actually investigated the pit. As far as we're aware, well, as far as we know at the moment, I'm restrained, you're out of the game, and we've got one down the pit. It plays out.
It's a dangerous situation either way, this.
I'd quite like. I mean, from my point of view, I ought to be doing a one-on-one thing with Barynor because he's buggered off down there.
I'm trying to tactically diplomatise this mission.
Yeah.
I'll attempt to, because I presume no one knows I'm in this room at the moment, apart from my 2 friends.
No, you're hidden. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then can I just see if I can discern anything from each of these? So do 4 checks while I'm in here.
What checks do you want to do? Sorry. You broke up. I didn't hear what you said last. Sorry.
Just to see if I can hear anything through them or, discern anything without going through.
They're just really excited. There's strangers in the Goblin camp. They've been taken to see their boss, and they're quite excited because they know how it pans out.
The 3 other doors in the room that I'm in.
Ollie, we need to take a time out. Give me 2 seconds.
Yep, no problem.
Sorry, son.
That's all right. I'm just going to press the pause button for a sec. Okay, welcome back everybody. So, we are currently in a situation whereby Barynor has disappeared down this black pit, which is 80 foot deep and has splattered Goblin at the bottom of it.
That's a big shaft.
Colin is currently in handcuffs at the top of the pit, surrounded by the Goblin Chief, his sergeant, 3 hobgoblins and 2 normal goblins. And we have Durzo, who is currently hidden. No one is aware that he's there, with Meppo and 5 Goblin warrioresses lurking in the shadows. So it's over to you guys.
Right then, lads. Did any of you buy my stories about the cannons?
Yeah, we like the idea of cannons.
I love the idea of cannons. I'm going to be honest. It's sadly going to fall short. I'd love to build some cannons. I'd love to bring some cannons, but I ain't got none.
Right. So you're buggered then, aren't you?
Well,
And he
I
looks-
do like the idea of a bit of buggery, I'll be honest. But it ain't going to be me who's getting buggered. it's gonna be you.
Oh, is that so? Right, lads, take him to the boss.
And
Hang on. Before you send me down the pit to face your so-called boss, what would you say if I told you there was a bunch of kobolds who were willing to come in this room and bugger you senseless?
I'd say we've seen it before and we've beat them before. They ain't got the guts to come this far.
Can I just stop you there? You've seen kobolds come in this room and bugger your mates senseless.
We know the kobolds that live in this citadel, and we ain't scared of them.
I see. Well, what if I told you these were kobolds of a particular breed? I ain't never seen the likes of them bloody big buggers.
I don't know what your point is, but you need to get on and make it, because you're going to see the boss in a second.
with that, he walks over to the chest and pulls out a long length of rope and shouts out to the others, "Start tying him up!" And with that, they start tying this rope round your ankles.
What if I told you these weren't just kobolds bent on buggery? These are kobolds bent on slaughter.
Well, what do you want me to say?
Oh! These kobolds will fold you inside out. They're not fucking the sort of kobolds you're gonna parlay with.
I see what you're getting at, but unless my maths is wrong, because I've only got 3 fingers, there's still loads of us in here and loads of my mates outside there. And I don't see any of these kobolds you're talking about. What proof have you got?
Did you see my roll?
I did see your roll, yeah.
Well, let me tell you one thing about these kobolds.
They have seen one of the kobolds. He took an arrow earlier off him.
They bloody hard as fuck, and they took an arrow right in the back, and they're gonna take a lot worse before they get through here. And when they do finally get through here, they're gonna fuck you fucking blind.
Well, best they hurry up then.
And with that, he grabs hold of you. If you can make a strength check with disadvantage.
Right, okay.
Because you're restrained and you've got your legs tied. That's the thinking behind the...
Yep, my strength. Well, there it is.
Oh, goodness me. Oh, so you got 5, I've got 6. That's shocking. So he's grabbed hold of you and he's sort of trying to physically manhandle you towards the pit. He's not quite there.
And he's going, "You're going to see the boss whether you like it or not."
And you're gonna feel the fucking force of my cannon.
So we're both right on the very edge of this pit at the moment. Give us another check, just the same with disadvantage, and we'll see what happens.
A strength one, yeah?
Yeah.
Come on, strength.
Oh, dear, jeez.
Oh!
Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
And with that, he grabs hold of you. He attempts to throw you down the pit, but with your stubbornness, I don't really know how you do it because you're restrained and you've got your legs tied and everything else. But you fall down the pit, and at the same time, he falls down the pit. However, your legs are tied, and before you hit the bottom, the rope stretches tight, and you land safely at the bottom of the pit without taking any damage. You've basically kind of bungeed down, if you like, and the rope has caught you before the bottom. Unfortunately, Grell, who was next to you and wasn't quite so lucky, gets the same fate as the goblin before him and lies in a bloody pool of blobby mess at the bottom of the pit, dead.
Ah, Colin.
Yeah, you green skinned piece of shit.
You can hear a cackling above you, and the other goblins and hobgoblins begin to descend down the vines into the pit after you.
Come on, cut me loose. Who wants some?
And so you reach the bottom of the pit, and you're down there with Barynor and all the other goblins. They cut you loose of the ropes, and you are standing with Barynor at the bottom of the pit, and 3 hobgoblins, 2 goblins, and Dern. And that's where you are at the moment.
And that's when Colin lets loose with his terrible.
That's a hell of a way to descend 80 foot on a bungee line.
I can't believe you beat that a 3 and you beat his strength check.
No, I'm struggling, but there was.
You cannot critically fail an ability check.
Grell, the Goblin Chief, is no more. He is just a bloodied mess at the bottom of this pit.
I can scrape him up like the trash.
And that again, Colin then shouts out, "Who wants to see my cannon fire?"
And
put it away, Colin. Put it away.
I think Barynor's probably quite pleased to see you at this point.
I am, but I look kind of worried at the same time because Grell, the once chief, is now a pancake upon the floor.
I take your thanks, sir.
In fairness, the goblins aren't too distressed at this. I think they see death and destruction fairly regularly, and it's just a natural way for someone else to step into his shoes. In actual fact, Dern, the hobgoblin, looks quite pleased about it. I think he's next in line for leadership of the clan.
I'm now thinking, do me and Colin hold our own, or do we just carry on as normal?
Well, I think for Colin, he's kind of like glancing around at these other goblins, and he's just saying, "Does any of you fancy a piece? Or are you back off now?
We can kill them all if you wish."
I can make a lovely Molotov cocktail with what I've got carrying.
So what we need to do is establish what Durzo is going to do, because I can load up the next map.
This took a very quick turn in the opposite direction of what we were thinking.
Yes.
I think Durzo should basically burst through with his little mini army behind him. I think that'd be really cool, but obviously it's up to you guys.
There's a lot of people in that room.
How many have you got following you?
5.
6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Against 12.
There's 7 versus 12. If you sneak, you could get a kill quite quickly.
But we're also assuming that he's going to take a combat role. What if you go into that room in a grovelling stance and almost suffer the same fate as us, where you get brought to the pit?
That's also a good point.
It is, but I don't think they're going to do it with an entire little battalion.
If you leave them behind, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Use them as backup for yourself, and use yourself as a bait to bring yourself to the pit, so we're all at the same point.
That sounds fair.
You have used your grovelling before.
I have, and I forgot I had it. I like this.
Oh yeah, I need to.
And then if you have to use intimidation. You have an army behind you. Use intimidation if you need it. I mean, obviously, I tried that with the cannons and the army, and it failed. But it might work for you.
Shit.
You could try and be like Meppo and like beg for your dragon back. Possibly.
I'm just reading this cower thing.
Yeah, I was just looking at that as well.
Distract foes. Advantage on a. What the hell? Oh, you in my sheet, are you?
Sorry, yeah, I was, sorry. Basically, if you start grovelling and cowering, all of your allies get advantage on their attacks, it looked like.
Oh, that could be quite painful for them. You could burst in and then kill half of them in a game, like one fell swoop. If you wish to kill them.
I think the thing is, you need to find a way in.
I need to get in, so
We're fucked if you don't come in.
I'm gonna go in. Wait, that's it. We're doing it. We're gonna go straight in with the grovel and cowering and begging, knowing that, you know, I'm on my own sort of thing, and all these are gonna follow in shortly behind with the advantage.
Okay.
This could. I've never been in this much of a not knowing what to do situation.
It is quite a predicament.
Put it this way, what you're feeling now is what I was feeling about 10 minutes ago when everyone was like, we're going to have to do a one-on-one because we don't know what the fuck's going on.
I'm going to go straight in there, sort of feign my way of noticing how many there are and start use my grovel, cower and beg, like, you know, oh, please don't kill me, I'm just looking for the others.
And immediately they all turn to face you, and the commoners draw their clubs, and the goblins draw their short bows and point them all at you. They're keeping a bit of a respectful distance because they're not really used to people wandering in. And I'm assuming you've still got your cloak over your face, have you?
Yes.
So they don't recognise you as a kobold initially. The two goblins up here shout, "Halt!"
That's a masterly formation.
Sorry?
That's a horrible formation. I don't like them there.
So, well, they're all quite anxious about you. They've all turned to see what's going on. The goblin here shouts, "Halt!" and he also goes, "Yip, yip!" like that. And the door down here opens. And three more goblins come out. And they draw their bows as well. And they just shout,
Show yourself, stranger.
I was just looking for my friends.
Ah, they went this way.
and they step either side like that and point towards the door that's here.
He's going to signal to sort of Mepo and the others. Can I use a sort of thieves' cant with them both being kobolds so that the goblins don't notice what I'm doing? Just give them sort of a signal to...
You certainly share some enough racial traits to be able to send a message to them without the goblins knowing what you're saying.
I'd get them to sort of hang back there and sort of stay hidden at the moment. And I would make my way to the door slowly.
Okay. And these guys will
my weapons would be sort of hidden beneath my cloak thing.
These are sort of drawing behind you.
This is sounding an awful lot like Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi?
Jabba's palace.
Oh, yeah.
Is this door open or is it shut?
It's open.
It's open. He's just gonna... Are any of these aren't anyone up the top of the pit anymore, is there?
No, I've left them there. I'll better make a note of who's down there, I suppose. So I can clear the scene. So we've got 3 hobgoblins. We've got Colin, Barynor, and Dern as well, innit? And then 2 normal goblins. Okay, right. So let me. If I delete you, you won't be able to see the screen anymore, will you guys, or will you?
I don't know.
Oh, there's enough there's enough torches in there, isn't there? Can you still see?
Yeah.
Cool. Ooh. Okay. Alright, so these goblins will follow you in, They've got their bows drawn. They're quite suspicious guys, and they say
move round.
And
He just looks back at them and without hesitation sort of sidles round a little bit.
So they're gesturing, yeah, that's it, so they can come in. And they sort of follow you into the room, this lot. Yeah. So the commoners don't follow you in, they're just hanging around in here, sort of listening at the door. These are kind of lower goblinoids, they're not full warriors, they're just kind of like the normal hoi polloi of the colony. And these ones are say to you, one of them sort of makes himself more assertive than the others, this chap here. Probably fancies himself as a corporal or something. And says,
your friends have gone to see the boss, Bailick. Chuck these on and we'll take you down to see him.
And he just throws some handcuffs down at your feet there.
He Durzo would look down at the handcuffs, look back up and is like, how do you propose getting down there?
We'll lower you down on a rope.
And he points to the other rope that Colin was tethered to, that's hanging sort of over the lip of the pit,
and says, we'll lower you down, don't worry. The boss likes to see you all in one piece.
Can I just like jump at the rope and descend it straight away?
What, try and escape down there?
Yeah. I don't fancy being restrained.
You can too. I will say they probably get an attack of opportunity because they have had their bows drawn at you and have been sort of watching you throughout. Well, I'll tell you what, you can do it if you make a dexterity check. Because
at this point, Colin hears the commotion and just shouts up, "Don't be a twat!"
He'd look at the guys saying, my friends are down this hole, yeah?
Yeah, your friends are down there with the boss. Stick them bracelets in and we'll take you to see him.
Why do I need bracelets? I'd rather just go down.
Because we don't know you and you smell like one of them stinking kobolds.
And you stink like shit.
They don't sound like they're handcuffed down there.
I don't think you're in any position to argue, do you, fella?
So there's 5 of them in there. They've got their bows drawn at you. They're telling you to put the handcuffs on. You can take a jump down the pit, or you can
put the handcuffs on like they're suggesting, and then because of my background and being a thief and assassin, can I sort of secretly use my tools to pick them but make it look like they're still on?
You can do us a sleight of hand check to see if you can disguise the fact you've put them on.
Oh God.
I was going to say a DC 12 to do it, but so you start to put these handcuffs on, but as you try and put them on to sort of hide the fact they're done up properly, they do actually click shut. So you are now restrained, I'm afraid.
Fair enough.
So this one will walk over to you and start. Oh God, hold on. He'll start tying a rope around your foot, and then if you can do a strength check with disadvantage.
Oh God, I'm on -2 strength.
I'll just try and find a goblin. Hold on.
Hey, at least it's not a 1.
Yeah.
Jesus! So, as you plummet down the shaft, the rope catches you just before you hit the bottom. Much like Colin on a bungee, you land safely in one piece. Unfortunately, the goblin that shoved you has also tripped and fallen, and there are now 2 dead goblins and Grell at the bottom of this shaft. He followed you down. Okay. So there we are.
To be fair, we're getting through these goblins quite quickly, considering we're not attacking them.
They're hopeless. 3 of them are falling down his shaft. It's unbelievable. So these 2 of these are going to follow you down, but the other 2 are going to go back to what they were doing up here.
And how do they propose to come down, like the others, or?
Well, there's vines all the way round. That's what these are supposed to be. So they just sort of scramble up and down.
I was just asking if they're going to fall.
They are quite nimble. I'll tell you what, it's a DC 12 dexterity check to make it down there in one piece. Let's find out.
This is going to be quite funny.
Does that work? 1 and 2. And so, no, neither of them. They both slip on the vines and end up in a bloody mess at the bottom. These goblins are hopeless.
We've killed like 5 of them without touching them.
So there are 5 dead goblins at the bottom of this pit. You're actually probably the gore at the bottom of this hole is probably over the top of your shoes by now. It's quite slippery down there.
River of blood.
Right, I think that sounds like an appropriate place to leave it. Do you guys, or are you quite keen to?
Well, I'm keen to get game on, but
I'm quite happy to go for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got no time restraints.
Okay. In that case, bear with me while I load up the next map.
as long as you're prepared is the main thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've prepped it all.
Well, we did spend like an hour, just half an hour, drinking and stabbing, eating and gobbling.
We did.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, right.
Who's actually restrained? Just me and...
You and Colin are both restrained. So, just bear with me a second. So, who made it down there? So, there's 2 goblins. 1, 2. And 3 hobgoblins. 1, 2, 3. I'm getting there slowly. Dern is down there. And then you 3, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Hang on, am I in the right place or not? Oh, shit.
There's the pit. Zoom in.
Right, I should be able to see that. Can you see that all right?
Is the pit a square room?
Yes. So you're in a square room and there's rather a lot of people in it, as you can see.
Yeah, yes, that's right.
Okay, so this is room number 42. I'm sure there's something to read to you, so I should do that now. So, luminescent fungus shedding violet light clings to the walls and ceiling of this wide cavern. The air is damp and chilly, redolent with the odours of loam and decay. A layer of earth mixed with rotting vegetation and remains of cave animals covers the floor. Several varieties of mushroom and fungi grow in the detritus, as well as a few saplings. So down in this pit here where you are, there are some... It's kind of like a gothic garden that's never seen any sunlight, and there's a little bit of vegetation growing. And tending to this garden are a couple, I think it's 2, yeah, 2 skeletons. They're kind of digging the allotment and looking after the plants and the roots. There's also a couple of shrubs that are moving around. They're kind of like 4 foot tall bushes with spiky tips here and here. And there's also the congregation that joined you from down the pit.
Colin, is that smell you, or is that just this general odour?
I think it could be the general order, but
looking around the room and seeing the goblins that are already down here, Colin steps forth and takes a bow before them and says,
Good day, gentlemen. I am Colin, slayer of your friends.
And they're just going to look at you.
Guys, we were told to see your boss. And where is he?
We'll take you to see him, don't worry.
And with that, Dern nods to two of the hobgoblins who run off down one of the corridors.
Now, you gonna wait here until the boss comes to see ya.
In that case, can my friends be unrestrained as I believe you made a deal?
Made a deal?
Yes, you didn't take our weapons off us. There's no reason for us to be restrained.
Give us a persuasion check.
The one time I needed a good roll and I get it now.
Yeah, alright then, follow us.
And with that, he starts leading you away. Oh, shit. Sorry, I'm just trying to open a door. It's dynamic lighting thing's bloody hard to get hold of stuff, isn't it?
And the map breaks.
Yeah. Rocks fall and everyone dies. Oh, come on. Don't want to move the entire wall. Sorry, I'm trying very hard. There we are. Okay. Right. Here we go. So he starts leading you away into this room here, basically.
are we talking north or east of?
East.
Yeah, this is heading east.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. Sorry,
let's get in.
Rush.
So the goblins and hobgoblins escort you into here. You go past some other goblin commoners and other goblins all going about their business. There's quite a strong smell in this area. If I can tell you. Yeah, so as you go past, you can see 2 rows of dragon carved marble columns march the length of the hall, most completely covered in luminous fungus. The cobbled floor is cracked and stained, and on it sits many small wooden tables. The contents on the tables include mortars and pestles, small tools, bowls filled with crushed leaves, chopped fungus stalks and other plant specimens. Many doors leading off of this hall, and some are partly opened. But they're going to basically lead you into this room here. They're going to take your restraints off of you, and then they will lock the door shut. Boom, across there.
Might be a good opportunity to call it there, because I think my son's shouting out again. So.
Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, so they're going to lock you in this room.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it there for tonight. You three are locked in this room. The goblins have gone off to find the boss, and we'll call it there for tonight. So, Mike, shoot off and catch up with your son. I'll stop the thing, and then if you can, come back and we'll have a chat in a sec.
Okay. Yeah, you guys chat, and I'll be there in a minute.
No problem. See you, mate. Okay, so we're going to stop the game there. Our adventurers are locked in this room. Join us next week for episode 3 of the Sunless Citadel. So, good night for now.
Night all.
Good night.